Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel where skincare is all about progression over perfection because perfection doesn't exist. Today I want to share with you some brands that I've just completely lost interest in, and I want to do this video first of all just to be petty. I feel a bit petty today, but also I get asked my opinions on brands all the time, if I still like certain brands, if I still use certain brands, and usually the answer is yes, I still like them, but as someone who reviews skincare, I've got to constantly move on to the next product, so it's not often the case that I still use those products, if that makes sense. But there are brands and products that I used to love that I'm just like I've completely gone off that. And today I want to share some of the reasons why. Again, these are my often completely petty reasons or things that just don't sit that right with me. But if you love these products and these brands, please continue to use them. Just because I don't like them, it doesn't mean they don't work, you know? So let's start off with a brand that I still like a few of their products. This is I'm From. I'm From makes one of my favorite skincare products of all time. That is the I'm From Rice Toner. This is an amazing toner that sits somewhere between moisturizing and hydrating, that really brightens your skin, hydrates, smooths out your skin as well. It's such an amazing, like, all-round kind of hydrating product. Honestly, probably one of the best toners I've ever used. Think Laneige Cream Skin Refiner, but less moisturizing, you know? And more hydrating. Their mugwort line is also pretty good. Their honey mask is a product that I'm gonna love like forever. They're a brand who really focus on locally sourced ingredients, and they show that off on their packaging. They always show you where their natural ingredient comes from, and that's what they do with each product is they highlight a natural ingredient. So mugwort, rice. Then we get into things like fig and pear, which all sound nice. But when the fig line launched, I was like, I kind of like this. Like, this is quite nice. I'm going to use it and share it with everyone who watches my videos. And, you know, it was quite nice. It was a little underwhelming, but compared to what is I consider an iconic product, their rice toner, I felt like I was going to find everything that they launched after that a little underwhelming. Then I saw that they were launching a rice serum and moisturizer. So a serum and moisturizer version of their amazing rice toner. And I was like, this is it, it's happening. These are the only products I'm going to use for a long time. I'm going to love them. After about 4 months of use of these two products, I was just like so underwhelmed. It literally felt like they did nothing. And I felt like the products had been rushed. You know, our rice toner is doing well. Let's pop out serum and a moisturizer with rice in the name, and that includes rice. And they just didn't feel like anything. Like, the rice serum felt like a thicker version of the toner, and then the moisturizer felt like a thicker version of the serum. Do you know what I mean? I felt like I literally could have just used one of those products. They felt very generic. I felt like I'd used these products 1,000 times before from other brands, and they were nothing compared to the toner. The brightening, the smoothing, the hydrating benefits that I got from the toner did not translate into a serum and a moisturizer at all. And then they launched their pear line, which I was like, are we just picking any old fruit now? I was like, interesting, kind of hydrating antioxidant serum. And then they released their vitamin fruit serum, which again was another antioxidant brightening serum. And then they launched a beet line, which was again an antioxidant brightening serum, another brightening hydrating product. I'm like, I'm so bored now. I think they're literally picking fruits and vegetables that they like the look of and they thought would make nice packaging, when really all these products were just different versions of the same product. I was like, I'm so bored now. Like, can you pick something else? Can we move on to vegetables? I don't know. Pumpkin? I don't know. And with each fruit and vegetable, the packaging just got uglier and uglier. Like, the beet packaging is some of the worst packaging I've ever seen. It gives me like old Innisfree kind of vibes. I still love their mask. As I said, their mask, the honey mask, is incredible. Their toner. I'm just not interested in what hydrating antioxidant food they're gonna make a serum out of next. I'm just not. Speaking of K-beauty brands, let's talk about Nature Republic. Nature Republic is in some of my most viewed videos of all time here on YouTube. The like 10 ways to use aloe vera kind of video. And it's always gonna have like a special place in my heart because it is the first K-beauty brand that I ever saw in real life and purchased and used. Their aloe vera gel, honestly, is a product that I still keep in my collection to this day. It's like a staple in my collection for like emergencies. If I feel a bit sun flushed or I need a quick cooling kind of like mask, or my body needs that boost of extra hydration, but in a way that you always have like Vaseline and Pepto-Bismol in the cupboard. Do you know what I mean? It's there just in case. And it's kind of becoming just like a staple as like pseudo cream, you know, it's just there just in case I need it. And I was obsessed with them, but I have just fallen out of interest naturally with them. I think the more K-beauty brands I discovered, the more I realized Nature Republic just kind of recycled the same thing they always did, or other brands' products, and did their own version of. They don't launch a lot of products actually, and that's fine. Like, that's not my issue with them whatsoever. In fact, I actually think that's quite nice compared to brands constantly pushing out products every day. But what that does mean is I've tried them all. I know what I like, I know what I don't like, and there's no real innovation there. In the sense that, you know, sometimes brands will come out with a reformulated version, or maybe they update their packaging, or maybe they, you know, do something a little bit different. But I feel like it's been stagnant for so long that I'm not interested in the products I know I kind of already like from them. I'm just not interested enough to use them. I also feel like they are not the most superior K-beauty brand, in the sense that they are probably now the last K-beauty brand I would go to when looking for skincare. So yeah, the products that they do have, I don't think is the best. They have their aloe line, but so does every other K-beauty brand. They have their snail line, so does the majority of other K-beauty brands. Vitamin C line, so does everyone else, but these other brands often just do it better than they do, in my opinion. I feel like Nature Republic is a great entry into what K-beauty has to offer, because it's a minimal catalogue. You can see what we would class as more innovative ingredients that, you know, the Western world doesn't really get, and, you know, the nicer sunscreens and all that kind of stuff. But I feel like Nature Republic's aloe gel is iconic. Only that one product from them for a reason, you know. They're not bad, they're just not great. In fact, they remind me a little bit of the Body Shop, which we're going to talk about now. I've never been interested in the Body Shop, ever. I feel like for me, growing up how I did and those around me, the Body Shop is kind of for teenagers. I feel like they do like nice smelly bits, and you know, you buy a lip balm from them. Everyone always had a Body Shop lip balm in school. You know, if you wanted to get your like auntie something nice, you'd buy them a Body Shop gift set, because they usually do those. Everyone had that white musk spray from the Body Shop as well, and like watermelon sprays. It gives me memories of being a teenager, but I've never seen them as daily use skincare products. They've just never struck me as that for me. They've always been, when I did use them back in the day, a one-off mask, or, you know, a gift. The one product that I did use quite often was their, it's called the Tea Tree Anti-Imperfection Daily Solution, which I quite like. And for me, it was great for my breakouts, my oily prone skin. Really just a seasonal product that I used for quite a few years on and off. I don't use it now, so I've never really been interested by anything else they have to offer. Their products are very fragrant, and not that that is a bad thing for me. It's just overwhelmingly fragrant. You know, people think Lush is overwhelmingly fragrance, but you just can't smell it in the Body Shop because it's all in plastic packaging, you know? I'm also not 100% sure that I trust their green, eco-friendly claims. I know there's been quite a few controversies with them in the past. I feel like a lot of what they do is greenwashing, and I don't feel, other than refillable packaging and pumps in some shops, I don't know what they've really done to amplify themselves as one of the top eco-friendly brands, you know? I'd be a hypocrite to be like, what they do is bad. As a consumer of all things, I got a lot of plastic I consume, but for a brand whose main narrative is being green, I just don't trust them. There's something about them that I don't trust. They've had a controversial past, which, as I said, I feel like deserves its own video, so I might do that in like a When Beauty Turns Ugly video. Listen, 97% of every brand has some kind of problematic past. It just depends what you class as problematic for you. I've seen comments from subscribers, I've seen YouTube reviewers not review certain influencer brands because they don't like the influencer, yet will review brands whose CEOs are outwardly racist, you know? So I think it's like, what they have done is questionable, but what, for me, the Body Shop is kind of like that colleague at work that you don't quite trust, but you can't quite pinpoint why. That's what it is for me. I'm also just not interested in what they have to offer. I feel like they haven't changed that much over the years and years and years that they've been around for. But I would say if you are after decently priced products that smell nice and you don't have any allergies, you don't have any real skincare concerns, then knock yourself out, have fun with them, use them. I won't judge, but the Lord will. No, not that bad from what I know. But also they are an MLM now. The Body Shop at Home, which is based on selling products at Body Shop parties, kind of like Tupperware parties, Avon parties. I didn't know people still did that. Like Ann Summers parties. I didn't know they were still a thing. Why would you want someone to come into your house and try and sell you something you could buy online or just get in a shop? I don't know. I find it weird. But yeah, The Body Shop, it's never been for me. And they're still not for me. First Aid Beauty. This for me is a TikTok only viral brand. I don't see many people on YouTube talking about it, but people love it. People love it. So my interest was spiked because there was a time last year, no, 2 years ago, peak pandemic, where you couldn't not see First Aid Beauty on skincare TikTok. It was everywhere. Derms recommending it, skinfluencers recommending it. I was like, I have to try this brand. I got gifted loads of stuff. Timing was great on their behalf. But I was just left a little bit like, oh, like, is that it? Is that it? Like, I never expect miracles from anything, but the way people were talking about this brand, sponsored and unsponsored, it was like it's some kind of like new, I don't know, I was just expecting something different. I think the main thing is that it did nothing for me. It really did nothing for me. I think there's 2 products that I liked that I think are great. I love them so much I don't even remember what they are. But the other ones for me were just awful. They were, the formulations in particular were horrible on my skin. I tried the repair cream and the coconut water cream, their pads and serums and everyday usage. It wasn't fun. I think for me, the coconut water cream, I thought was going to be like this like splash of hydration and keep me feeling hydrated but still moisturize at the same time, and it didn't. It reminded me of a very old-fashioned moisturizer that I used to use as a teenager that kind of went on the skin and you're like, where the fuck has that gone? And it didn't leave you any more hydrated than you were before. Their thicker creams were too thick. They kind of like just moved around my skin rather than penetrated the skin, and I was always left with almost like this cold sweat on my top lip that I was like, oh. I was like, I can't, like, it felt too thick for me. So yeah, for me, the user experience was horrible, and they are quite expensive for what they are. I don't really think that they bring anything new to the table. I don't think that they are worthy of the price point, in my opinion, from my personal usage and experience with them. They don't offer anything new. Do you know what I mean? And I'm not saying every brand has to, but I was like, why do I need to use these when they're so expensive and there's cheaper products that are even better than actually does what they say they're going to do in a nicer way? This brand is a brand I just literally have no use for, but I know people absolutely love them. I think maybe it's just for people with more damaged, maybe drier skin. I did expect their water cream to be a bit, you know, nicer for oily skin, but they just weren't for me. Whenever I see them now, they still send me PR, bless them. I just put it in my giveaway pile because I'm just not interested in their products at all, to be honest. Okay. Let's talk about Biossance. I actually used to love this brand. I did a sponsored video with them because I really, really enjoyed their products. For me at the time, squalane was becoming this huge thing that people had only just heard of, including myself. And I was like, this is the only brand for me that did it well and did it nicely in products that didn't just feel like that wasn't just an oil, you know? They integrated it into their products so well. Their lactic acid resurfacing night serum is so good. So good. And if it came through my post, I would still use it and I would use it all up happily. But then, months after my sponsored post came the Clean Academy, the go-to guide for everything you need to know about ingredients, labels, and tips for a cleaner and greener beauty routine. What I liked about Biossance was their love of nature and being like eco-friendly and all that kind of stuff mixed with science. And that's what they had down for me, is that kind of merge of truthfully science-backed ingredients and formulations whilst respecting nature and the world. And that's what I loved. And then this Clean Academy came along. Some of their sources for this academy is an esthetician, great, with a lot of experience, but also the EWG database. So we immediately know that using the EWG as any kind of like informative science-backed actual, you know, information is a no-go. So whenever the EWG attach themselves to anything, or a brand or a product says that they're EWG verified, certified, whatever, I don't care. It's an immediate no for me. So this Clean Academy also has their own version of like the Think Dirty app, which is the EWG ingredient listing app. And it's an ingredient library that tells you all the crap, like, you know, certain ingredients are going to give you cancer because a mouse got cancer once after it drank a bucket of parabens. Often labeling ingredients as not safe, but also giving no reason as to why. It's all very half-assed on Biossance's side. If you go to their website, it's like They just kind of picked out a few things. They were like, no, but didn't say why, because their source is the EWG. So also, someone posted on Twitter about a brand trip that they did recently to Fiji. Now, I think this was I don't actually know what it was about. So they flew these influencers to Fiji, and I wouldn't say, looking at the influencers, that any of these you initially think are, well, the influencers that actually posted about it are linked to environmentally conscious content, eco-friendly content, greener content in any way, or ocean preservation, coral reef preservation. And I would say usually that's because the people who were actually doing that wouldn't be flying halfway across the world with a brand to do what they were doing. I think the point of this trip was ocean preservation or some kind of coral. They were doing something, but here's the thing, I don't know. They didn't really talk about it. So listen, brand trips are going to happen all the time. They're going to happen. But I don't really think brands with a focus on saving the environment and being eco-friendly should be flying a load of influencers across the world. I get it if these are people whose content is focused on that kind of stuff, and it's a trip that they were going to do to actually, produce content and teach us about why this is important, what are the effects of what we do as consumers on coral, on the ocean, on, global warming. I get it if there was going to be content that came out of it that we were all going to look at and learn something from. But the content from this trip, in my opinion, was very self-serving. We as an audience and Biossance as consumers had no idea why they were out there. No idea why they were out there. We didn't learn anything from this. And the brand posted on their Instagram, follow like this hashtag or something for more info and to learn more. And when you click on the hashtag, there's nothing there. There's nothing there, like just influencers posing with bottles. And it's like, what? Like, I don't get it. Like, I think if you're going to do a brand trip, make it make sense in the sense that you have the right kind of people there doing the right kind of thing and bringing actual awareness to what you're doing. If you just want to fly out a couple of influencers to a location to pose with your products, make content about it, fine, then do that. Like, I would do that. Do you know what I mean? If the brand trip was the right thing, I wouldn't go on a world-saving trip. I don't know. It just doesn't sit right with me. Is this enough for me to like boycott the brand? No, I just find it a very odd business choice. Okay, Belif. This is another brand who sponsored me ages ago. This was like maybe when I was like not new to YouTube, but newish. And I really do like their products, but have they always been so expensive? I do not remember them being this expensive. Their products though, they feel amazing on the skin. They actually feel good on the skin. They look good on your skin. They transform and hydrate your skin, which in what feels like an instant. If you're lacking the hydration department, your skin needs some repairing, these are some amazing products to go for. I use these products religiously when I was ditching hyaluronic acid for a bit, because I thought my skin was kind of like breaking out from it, not breaking out, getting red from it. And it really, really helped. They did help. But yeah, they're just so expensive. And this is another brand that I'm like, they don't really launch a lot, do they? They don't really put much out there, which is fine. Again, not an issue. It's just once I've tried everything, I know whether I like it or not, and it's time to move on, So I'm not constantly looking at this brand for their next biggest launch. But when they did launch something new, it was their serums, and I was a little underwhelmed, to be honest with you, because again, it was a vitamin C serum, another vitamin C serum. Everyone was doing them. They did have a 5% PHA ampoule, which intrigued me, but it was also nearly $100. Like up there, like $90 or something. So I was like, no. I'm not gonna spend that on a serum. Like, I don't think they're that kind of brand. I don't think you look at them as like a bougie high-end brand. So I lost interest in them. Then my obsession with the website Olive Young grew, and I saw them on there because they are a K-beauty brand. I think a lot of people think they're like a Korean American brand or just an American brand inspired by K-beauty, but they are Korean. And they have so many other products on their website that they don't sell in other parts of the world. And there's things on here like they have these super nice overnight masks, and one soothes, one brightens, and it's just intriguing to me. They have these like this collab with VDL, which is like a moisturizer makeup hybrid, which I'm interested in again for some reason. And a whole Seeker line I didn't even know existed. So this is a brand that I lost interest in, and now I've become a little bit more interested again. But the prices do make me remove them from my basket every time. because I'm just like, I can get like 3 products for that price, for the price of one of the serums, you know? Expensive, but I'm intrigued. Let me know what you think of any of these brands in the comments down below, and maybe brands that you're not so interested in anymore. What brands did you love and swear by that you just kind of like naturally fallen out of interest of, or even out of love with? Let me know in the comments down below. You can watch some more skincare reviews here and some general light entertainment here, and I'll see you over there.